After marrying an old billionaire, Diana thought she had secured a life of luxury. But when he died, all his wealth vanished, leaving her with nothing but debt and a child to care for. Desperate and alone, she turned to her friend Tasha for help. She took her in, but on one condition: Diana had to start over, the right way. The first morning in Tasha's house felt like waking up in someone else's life. Diana lay still on the bed, sheets tucked too neatly around her like they were trying to keep her in place. Simple curtains, a wooden wardrobe, a ticking wall clock. It was nothing like the luxury apartments she once floated through. Here, everything had order, routine. It unsettled her. Down the hall, Tasha was already awake, humming gospel music while packing lunch for Diana's 3-year-old son, Noah. By the time Diana dragged herself to the kitchen, Tasha was ready for work, and Diana was supposed to start her UI/UX online course. But Diana wasn't built for books. She had enrolled hoping to design apps and websites, imagining herself working in cafes, sipping coffee while people admired her discipline. But reality was different. Technical terms confused her, terms like user flows, wireframes, and prototyping. The instructor spoke too fast. Her notes turned into scribbles, her patience wore thin. Within a week, she slammed her laptop shut in frustration. The screen work felt foreign, like trying to speak a language she'd never understand. When Tasha offered to connect her with a boutique job instead, Diana's eyes lit up. She didn't come to Lagos to stare at screens all day. She wanted something real, something she could actually do. The boutique was in the heart of Lagos, shiny glass walls, spotless floors, the scent of imported perfumes lingering in the air. Diana had only been inside places like this when she was with wealthy men, clicking in high heels, scanning designer clothes without checking price tags. Now she entered through the staff entrance in flats, wearing a black uniform with a name tag that read Diana, sales rep. Surprisingly, she didn't mind, at least not at first. The manager, Riley, gave her 1 week to prove herself. Diana showed up early, tied her hair back neatly, smiled at customers, and learned the store layout quickly. Designer shoes, bags, and clothes surrounded her like old friends. Except this time, she wasn't buying. She was folding, polishing, and straightening. At first, it felt strange being on the receiving end of those dismissive glances she once gave to staff. But she shook it off. This was honest work, and Tasha had helped her get here. She went home on time, helped with Noah's bedtime, washed dishes, even gave Tasha part of her salary without being asked. But the boutique was changing her in ways she didn't expect. Every day she watched the rich walk in and out, women laughing behind sunglasses, tapping long nails on phones, speaking with confidence that reminded her of her old self. Her old life had been chaotic, but it sparkled. She started putting extra effort into her appearance, subtle makeup, fixing her weave just right, adding accessories to make herself stand out. She noticed how certain customers paid more attention when she smiled a certain way or complimented their taste. One afternoon, a woman in a red jumpsuit walked in. She moved with confidence, crocodile leather handbag swinging, 2 phones in hand, nails painted like stained glass. "You have good eyes," the woman said while trying on heels. "You ever think about doing more than this?" "Like what?" The woman laughed. "Life's too short to stand behind counters all day. You're beautiful. You could be driving a Benz, wearing the same things you sell." That night, Diana couldn't sleep. She stared at the ceiling, wondering if this was really it, folding clothes and greeting strangers for 8 hours a day. Was she really okay watching others live the life she once tasted? The following week, a man walked in. He was a young man in a casual tracksuit, but everything about him screamed wealth: gold wristwatch, designer sneakers, the air of someone who didn't need to ask prices. He had a smooth voice and smiled with dimples that made Diana blink twice. He asked for sunglasses, something classy but subtle. She showed him options with her usual polite recommendations. "You've got taste," he said, trying one on. "And a pretty face too." She smiled awkwardly. "I'm just doing my job." His name was Lucas. He asked if she was free after work. She hesitated but later accepted. By the end of her shift, she had already texted him. He picked her up that night in a luxury car, took her to a rooftop bar that looked like it belonged in Dubai. He talked about business deals and travel plans. He made her laugh. He didn't ask personal questions or judge her. It felt easy. After that, they met more often, always secretly. Diana would tell Tasha she had to stay late or cover extra shifts. She started calling Tasha to pick up Noah from daycare more frequently, always with sweet apologies and promises to be home soon. Tasha grew suspicious, but Diana kept things light. She told herself this was different. Lucas was young, charming, generous. He wasn't like the old men she used to depend on. He was different, wasn't he? When Lucas surprised her with a designer handbag, Diana was speechless. The smell of leather, the gold zip, the label, it overwhelmed her. She rejected it at first, but later accepted it. That night, she returned home with bags of groceries, toys for Noah, and a small gift for Tasha. When Tasha questioned where it all came from, Diana explained about Lucas, how he ran a logistics business, how he was different and kind. Tasha's lips tightened. A logistics? That word is doing a lot of heavy lifting these days. But Diana laughed it off. In her heart, she knew Tasha wasn't wrong to be cautious, she just wasn't listening, not when the life she missed was finally within reach again. Diana began coming home late more often than usual. At first, Tasha tried to be understanding. Diana was young, trying to get her life together. After all, she had been going to work, bringing groceries home, even helping with a few bills. But lately, her behavior was changing again. She would disappear until nearly midnight, returning with the scent of luxury perfume trailing behind her like a shadow. Her face glowed, nails freshly done, wearing dresses Tasha had never seen before. When Diana entered the house by 11 p.m., Tasha didn't say anything at first, she just watched as Diana placed shopping bags on the table. "Hi, Tasha," Diana said cheerfully. "Sorry I'm late. Traffic was crazy." Tasha raised an eyebrow. Traffic at 11 p.m.? Was there a taxi strike at the club too? Diana's smile faltered for a second, but quickly returned. "No, I wasn't at the club. I was just out with Lucas. He took me for dinner." Tasha stood, arms folded across her chest. "This is becoming a habit. You leave early for work, then I don't see you until almost midnight. Some days you don't come back until morning. What's going on?" Diana sighed, visibly annoyed now. "Tasha, I'm an adult. I'm not a prisoner here. Can't I go out and enjoy myself once in a while?" "It's not about enjoying yourself," Tasha snapped. "It's about responsibility. Noah needs his mother, not a stranger who stops by once a day with McDonald's and shiny toys." "I'm doing my best." "Are you?" Tasha's voice softened, but firm. "Because it looks like you're slipping back. I've seen this before, Diana. Late nights, mysterious gifts, these same excuses. I just want to know, who is this man?" "He's different, Tasha. He treated me like a queen and listens to me. He runs a logistics business." "A logistics?" Tasha scoffed. "And what kind of logistics allows someone to buy you a 1.5 million naira handbag after knowing you for a few weeks?" But Diana's pride flared. She insisted Lucas was serious about her. He wanted to build a life with her. He even mentioned traveling together, taking her to Dubai. Tasha stared in disbelief. "Dubai? Do you even hear yourself? This sounds exactly like before, when you ended up stranded with no rent, no job, and a child to feed. You said that man was serious too. And where did he go?" Diana looked away, swallowing hard. "I'm not trying to control your life," Tasha said more gently. "I just don't want you to walk back into a fire you only just escaped from." "Lucas is not that kind of man," her pride flared. "He's not some sugar daddy. He's young, smart, ambitious. We have real conversations. We laugh. He sees me for who I am." "I hope you're right," Tasha said at last. "For Noah's sake, I hope you're right." The next few weeks blurred into one glittering dream. Lucas took her to the finest restaurants, places where waiters in suits pulled chairs out for her. They lounged in five-star hotel suites with silk sheets and rooftop jacuzzis. He bought her gold earrings, an iPhone, even booked her a spa day. Every time she returned home, she carried bags, groceries, toys, gifts for Tasha. When she offered Tasha expensive perfume and a wristwatch as thanks, Tasha refused. "I can't accept this. I don't know where it's coming from." Diana felt the old frustration rising. Why couldn't Tasha just be happy for her? She peeked into Noah's room. He was fast asleep, hugging a stuffed lion Lucas had bought him. She kissed his forehead and whispered, "Mommy's doing this for you. You'll never suffer again." But deep inside, a small voice whispered back, "Is this really for him, or for you?" That night, she uploaded a picture of her and Lucas at a hotel pool, legs crossed, cocktail in hand. The caption read, "From survival to soft life. Blessed." The likes flooded in. Old friends commented with fire emojis. People DM'd her asking what she did for a living. For a moment, she forgot Tasha's worried eyes. She felt powerful again, beautiful, adored, untouchable. But the biggest surprise came one evening after a weekend getaway. Lucas pulled her close on the suite's velvet couch, kissed her forehead, and said casually, "Baby, how do you feel about seeing Dubai?" Her heart skipped. Dubai, the place she'd always dreamed of. The influencers she followed had all posted from there. The views from Burj Khalifa, desert safaris, designer shopping. Lucas wanted to take her there. Not as a side chick, but as his woman. "I already booked your ticket," he said, showing her the flight itinerary. "I'll sort mine out this week." Diana shrieked with laughter, flinging her arms around him. She was going to Dubai. Later that night, back at Tasha's flat, she burst through the door. "Tasha! You won't believe it. I'm going to Dubai." Tasha's dish rag froze in her hand. She turned slowly. "Dubai? With that same Lucas you've only been seeing for 2 months." "Almost 3, Diana corrected with a grin. "He's serious about me. This isn't just another fling." Tasha sighed. "And when are you supposed to go?" "Next week. It's just for 2 weeks. He's already booked the hotel and my flight. He'll get his later, but he wanted to surprise me first." Tasha's eyes narrowed. "He booked your flight before his?" Diana shrugged. "He said it's because of limited seats. He doesn't want me to miss the opportunity." The kitchen fell silent for a moment. Tasha finally spoke, her voice low but firm. "I don't feel good about this. Something doesn't sit right with me about this man." But Diana snapped. "You always see the worst in people. Lucas is different. He's caring, he listens, he hasn't asked me for anything." "Yet," Tasha muttered. "Just be happy for me," Diana pleaded. "This could be my break. Don't I deserve a little happiness?" "It's not about happiness, it's about safety," Tasha said sharply. Do you know how many young women vanish overseas every year? How many get tricked into trafficking? These vacations are how they lure you in." "Lucas isn't like that," Diana insisted. You don't even know him." Her mind was already made up. She asked Tasha to help watch Noah while she was gone, just for 2 weeks. Tasha refused at first, but Diana insisted, saying she would send updates and video call them. Tasha looked toward the hallway where Noah's room was. The little boy was fast asleep, dreaming of cartoons and toy cars. She sighed heavily. "I'll take care of him, but only because of Noah. Not because I support this decision." That night, Diana couldn't sleep. She lay on her bed, scrolling through Instagram and Pinterest, saving outfit ideas for Dubai. Her followers would see that she wasn't just another struggling single mother. She had made it. Tasha stood on the balcony with her arms folded. Something about this trip felt wrong. Her instincts screamed caution. She scrolled through Diana's recent messages, stories about Lucas, late nights, gifts, and vague details. She didn't want to crush her dreams, but she also didn't want to be the one left to pick up the pieces again. Still, for Noah's sake, she would keep her promise. But in her heart, Tasha knew this was far from over. The hotel room was dimly lit, bathed in golden light from bedside lamps. Expensive cologne hung in the air as jazz music played softly. Diana lay on the bed scrolling through Instagram while Lucas emerged from the bathroom, towel over his shoulder. "Baby," he said, his voice smooth. "I got you something." He pulled out a small, elegant black box tied with silver ribbon from the wardrobe. "This one is different. It's special." Diana reached for it curiously, but Lucas held her hand back gently. "No, I want you to open it when we land in Dubai. When you feel the air, see the lights, realize you're finally living your dream. Then you open it." She hesitated. Her curiosity itched, but something in the way he spoke, the way he handled the box made her pause. "What is it though?" she asked playfully. "A watch? Earrings?" Lucas smiled faintly. "Something even better." Diana's brow furrowed. "You're being secretive." "I just want it to be perfect. I know you've had people disappoint you. I want to do the opposite. I want to give you something to remember." Her heart softened. He always knew how to say the right thing, how to calm her nerves, how to spin everything into poetry. "Okay," she said finally, watching him zip the box into her travel bag. The next morning came fast. Dressed in her airport outfit, white jeans, branded sweatshirt, sneakers, Diana posed for pictures while Lucas snapped her. "You look like money," he said. "I feel like money," she grinned. They headed to Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in a black SUV. Diana recorded clips for Instagram stories, the car pulling up, her passport and boarding pass, a selfie of them walking hand in hand toward the terminal. As they approached check-in counter, Lucas stopped suddenly, patting his wrist. "Damn," he muttered. "What?" Diana asked, still bubbly. "My wristwatch. I left it at the hotel," he said, frowning. "It's my Omega, a gift from my uncle. I can't leave it behind." "Let's go back and get it," Diana offered. "No, no," he said quickly. "Your flight boards in under an hour. If we go back now, you'll miss it." "I don't want to go alone," she said, nervousness creeping in. Lucas reached into his wallet and pulled out a wad of crisp dollar bills. He peeled off several notes and handed them to her, $2,000 in $100 bills. "Take this for hotel pickup, dinner, shopping, whatever you want. I'll rebook my flight and join you in less than a day. I promise." Diana looked at the money, her mind tugging in different directions. "You sure?" she asked. "We can wait. I can board later." "No, baby. I want you to go. You deserve to arrive like a queen. I'll be right behind you." She swallowed hard, glancing at the boarding gate in the distance. Airport staff were calling passengers to line up. "Okay," she said finally, "but don't take long." Lucas kissed her cheek. Never. I'll be there before you even notice I'm gone." He gave her one last smile and turned toward the exit as she rolled her suitcase forward. Diana stood in line, taking a quick video of her boarding pass with the plane behind her. The caption read, "Dreams do come true. Dubai bound, soft life only." But deep in her chest, a flutter of unease stirred like distant thunder under a clear sky. As she walked toward the final security checkpoint, the bag on her shoulder suddenly felt heavier. The gift box seemed to weigh down the zipper. She remembered Lucas's face, how quickly he dismissed her concern, how calm he had been. Too calm. She looked at the dollar bills again. $2,000, just like that. She tried to silence the voice of doubt. She reminded herself that some men were generous, that maybe she was finally lucky. At the checkpoint, she handed over her passport and placed her bag on the conveyor belt. It slid through the X-ray machine as she passed through the metal detector. Everything slowed down. A pause. Then one officer stepped aside and called another, then another. They asked her to open her bag. Her heart jumped. "Just a routine check," one of them said. She opened her bag slowly, her hands trembling. And there it was, a gift box, still wrapped, still tied. One officer picked it up gently. "Do you mind if we open this, ma'am?" Diana hesitated. "It was a gift for when I get there. We need to see what's inside." She nodded slowly. The ribbon was untied. The lid lifted. Inside, neatly packed, were several rectangular packages tightly sealed. The officer's face darkened, and they called for backup. "Ma'am, what is this?" Another officer asked sharply. I don't know," Diana stammered. "It's not mine. My boyfriend gave it to me. He said to open it in Dubai. I didn't know what was inside." "His contact?" The officer asked sharply. "Yes. His name is Lucas, Lucas something. I can call him now, please." They handed her her phone. She scrolled quickly to Lucas's contact and dialed. It rang once, then silence. The call cut off. She dialed again. This time it didn't ring at all. The number was switched off. Her heart plummeted. The officer looked her dead in the eye. "We believe this is cocaine. You are under arrest for international drug trafficking." Diana's knees buckled as the cuffs clicked around her wrists. The airport buzzed on, travelers moving past, unaware that her entire life had just imploded in a single moment. The officers crowded around the open box, gloved hands inspecting its contents. Diana stood frozen, heart pounding. What once seemed like a romantic gift now looked deadly. A senior custom officer held up one of the small, tightly packed bricks. "Ma'am, do you know what this is?" Diana stared at the plastic, wrapped powder. I don't know. My boyfriend gave me the box. I didn't even open it." "This boyfriend, where is he now?" He said he forgot his wristwatch. He told me to go ahead, that he'd meet me in Dubai. Please, I swear I didn't know anything about the box." "His full name?" Diana blinked. "A Lucas. I don't know his surname. I just know him as Lucas." The realization hit her like a hammer. How could she know so little about him, when they've been seeing each other for weeks? The officer's tone shifted. "You're carrying what appears to be cocaine. You're under arrest pending further investigation." No, please," Diana begged, stepping back. "I swear I had no idea." "You have to believe me." Two female officers gently restrained her. "You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say." Diana's mind spun, her body cold, and her legs weak. She reached for her phone but was stopped. "You'll get a chance to call someone soon," one officer said. "No, please. Just let me call Lucas." She was taken to a windowless room. She dialed Lucas's number. Disconnected. She dialed the third time. A robotic voice said, "This number is no longer in service." It was like the air had been sucked out of her lungs. He was gone. And now she was alone, cuffed and trapped in a nightmare she didn't even know she had walked into. An officer entered. "You're allowed one call." "I already called him. He's gone." "Then call someone else." She scrolled through her contacts, pride wrestling with desperation. There was only one name that mattered now. Her thumb hovered over the call button. Finally, she dialed Tasha's number, and she picked up. "Diana." Diana opened her mouth, but words didn't come immediately. She choked back tears. "Tasha, I need help." Tasha's voice shifted, concerned, alert. "What's going on?" "I'm at the airport. I've been arrested." "What? Arrested? What happened?" Diana's voice cracked as tears came. "The box Lucas gave me. It had drugs in it. Cocaine. I didn't know, Tasha. I swear I didn't know. He told me not to open it until Dubai. I trusted him. And now he's disappeared. His number's off. They think I'm a drug mule." There was a pause. Diana could almost hear Tasha's heart drop. "Oh my God. Are you serious?" Tasha whispered. "I didn't do anything, Tasha," she sobbed. "I swear. Please, I didn't know. I just wanted a better life." Tasha took a deep breath. "Okay, listen to me. I believe you, but we need to act quickly. I'm coming. Don't say anything else to anyone unless a lawyer is present." "Okay. And Diana. We'll get through this, one step at a time." As heavy doors closed behind her, Diana was no longer the girl flying to Dubai with dreams and designer perfume. Now she was a suspect, a statistic, a lesson waiting to be learned. Tasha stood outside the police station, sleep-deprived and torn between anger and heartbreak. After Diana's late-night call, her thoughts had spiraled. Inside the precinct, Diana sat in a cell, disheveled, makeup smeared, pride gone. When she saw Tasha walk through the glass, her face lit up briefly with hope, but Tasha's cold stare crushed it. Diana tried to explain, she hadn't known what was in the box, she trusted Lucas. But Tasha, furious, refused to listen. She told Diana she wasn't bailing her out or cleaning up the mess. "Maybe now you'll wake up," she said before walking out, ignoring Diana's desperate pleas. At the daycare, Diana's son, Noah, ran to Tasha, beaming with joy. "Did Mommy come back from the airport?" he asked. Tasha forced a smile. "Not yet, baby, she had to stay longer," she said. Will she bring me something from Dubai? He asked. The word hit her like a slap, but she smiled back at him as they walked to the car. That night, as Noah slept peacefully on the couch after watching cartoons, Tasha sat watching the TV. Reports of drug smuggling flickered across the screen. Though she'd promised not to help Diana again, looking at Noah changed her mind. He's a small boy with tiny hands, he doesn't deserve this. Tasha contacted a lawyer from church, not to lie for Diana or cover her bail, but to represent her properly. Someone who would make sure the truth came out. Diana sat in silence in the cold police cell, unsure of her fate. But outside, someone was quietly fighting up for her. Though Tasha had been furious and heartbroken, she couldn't shake the image of Diana's terrified face. She couldn't stop hearing her pleading voice. Tasha decided to go back to the boutique where Diana worked. The manager, shocked by the news, agreed to check security footage of the man who used to visit her. 3 hours later, Tasha had a grainy image of Lucas, tall, well-dressed, always smiling. She took the footage to Detective Caleb, a childhood friend who now worked in narcotics. She explained everything, how Lucas gave Diana the box, how Diana swore she was innocent, and how he backed out the last minute. Classic mule setup, he said after studying the footage. She's lucky she was caught here, not in Dubai. They don't play games with drug trafficking. Caleb decided to help, and the investigation began piecing together a pattern. Lucas had used multiple names in hotel records and had a criminal history dating back several years, including fraud and drug offenses. His real name was Kwame Mensah from Ghana, and he had been under surveillance before, but went undercover. Diana was just his latest pawn. What chilled Tasha was realizing he had done this before, used young women as carriers, and not all had been as fortunate as Diana. With hotel surveillance footage and CCTV from a petrol station showing Lucas with the gift box, they had enough evidence to issue a warrant. He was arrested at a rooftop lounge, drink in hand, no clue his past had caught up with him. When confronted with evidence, he denied, but when the evidences were overwhelming, he broke. He confessed to using Diana, said she was eager and gullible, didn't ask questions, and loved the money. He even mocked her for believing he loved her. 2 weeks after her arrest, Diana was released. She walked out looking thinner, pale, drained, clutching a small plastic bag with her belongings. She looked up and saw Tasha waiting. She had no idea she's done any of this. I didn't expect you to be here, Diana said, voice dry and cautious. I know, Tasha replied. Let's go home. They drove in silence. It wasn't until they reached home and Diana saw Noah sleeping on the couch that she broke down, deep, gut-wrenching sobs. I was so stupid. I was so blind, Tasha. He used me like I was nothing. Tasha sat beside her but didn't touch her. You could have been in prison for years. You could have died. Do you understand that? I do. I really do. I didn't want to get involved, Tasha admitted. But then I remembered that people who love us don't have the luxury of walking away. They fight for us even when we don't deserve it. Diana looked at her with grateful eyes. Why didn't you tell me? Because I wanted you to feel it. To sit in that cell and think. Not because I hate you, but because I needed you to wake up. Diana nodded, you saved me. Tasha didn't reply right away. No. You're the one who's going to save yourself now. The days that followed were quiet but heavy with meaning. Diana didn't return to flashy heels or tight dresses. Her phone stayed silent for hours. The confident swagger was gone, replaced by gentle humility. One morning, sipping tea while Noah played with blocks, Diana spoke quietly. I used to think life was unfair if it wasn't glamorous. Like if I wasn't living like the girls on Instagram, something was wrong with me. And now? Tasha asked. Now I realize I was chasing things that disappear fast. Clothes, vacations, men with money. They don't last. None of them stayed when it mattered. But Noah did. And you did. Thank you for fighting for me even when I didn't deserve it. The journey to rebuild was slow. Diana insisted on taking full responsibility. She returned to the boutique, not for work, but to apologize. She told Tasha she wanted to go back to studies, but this time in social work. I want to help girls like me. Girls who've been used, discarded, or tempted by fast money. Maybe I can teach them there's another way. You sure? It's hard work and not always glamorous. I don't want glamour anymore. I want peace. With Tasha's help, Diana registered for adult education. Every evening, after feeding Noah and putting him to bed, she studied by candlelight when power went out, watched recorded lectures on Tasha's old tablet. There were setbacks, nights when Noah was sick, days when she felt exhausted and discouraged. But unlike before, she didn't quit. She no longer needed validation from strangers. She had found a purpose stronger than any compliment. She volunteered at a local girls' shelter, telling her story raw and honest without shame. Word spread. Soon she was invited to speak at schools and churches, not as an expert, but as a survivor who had tasted both sides and chosen the harder, better path. Months later, Diana completed her first certificate in counseling and got an internship with an NGO helping girls at risk. She worked tirelessly, humbly, passionately, becoming a source of inspiration to others. One day, as they watched Noah draw in the yard, Diana turned to Tasha. "Do you think I'll ever be fully free from my past?" Tasha didn't hesitate. "You already are, because you're not letting it control your future." Diana smiled, tears in her eyes. "I never thought I could live like this, with peace, with purpose." "You earned it," Tasha said, wrapping an arm around her. "Every bit of it." As the sun dipped behind trees, casting golden light over their home, Diana finally felt it. Freedom. Not the kind she once thought money or men could give her, but the kind that came from knowing who she was, choosing a better path, and walking it step by step, with courage, humility, and love for her son, for herself, and for every girl who would one day hear her story and choose to rise.